Fans, what is up? Welcome to New York Liberty Fan TV. I am Kenny Saintville, and I'm here with my guy, Alford Corriette. The New York Liberty win 86-81, a comeback win. They come back from 17 points to defeat the Atlanta Dream and finish the Commissioner's Cup 4-1, $13,000 donation. Alfred, let's talk about this game today because it was a valiant comeback effort from the New York Liberty. What did you see today from the team?
I think what you mentioned the word resilience. That's the main thing that the New York Liberty were able to pull off. You're talking about a team that was just coming off of a loss against Indiana, found themselves down by 15 plus, and still managed to find a way to win. And it was a gutsy win. It took a lot from the New York Liberty. You saw them basically use a lot of things. We saw new adjustments. We saw Jalen Sherrod get extended minutes tonight, and she performed well in those minutes. We saw lineup changes with Niara at the 4 tonight and JJ at the 5 to counter the size of BG and Brittany Griner. So I think to see the New York Liberty have all of that and then find a way to win, I think it just shows that championship medal that we've expected or we've wanted to see from them.
And speaking of that championship medal, one of the starters in today's lineup, Niara Sabali, it was fun just to see Stewie, starting at the 3 again. But, one of her big plays in the game was reminiscent of, that Game 5 finals with her getting that steal and, with the layup. But just talk about her minutes and the effort that she put up tonight defensively and what you saw from her in her third start this season, right?
Yeah, I think, yes, third start. So I think with Niara Sabali, what you're seeing is what New York drafted her for. You're talking about a 6'5" big that has versatility, that has mobility, that can impact the game on both ends of the floor. We saw her multiple steals tonight, multiple blocks tonight against 2 of the better bigs in this league, and Bree Jones and Brittany Griner. So that's not an easy feat, for Niara to have.
Absolutely.
And we're talking about, we saw something new tonight. We saw the perimeter jump shot from Niara Sabali that just a Kevin Durant toenail away from being a 3. But, to see Niara taking the perimeter shots, to see her getting better. I asked Niara tonight about how her overseas play have probably helped. And she talked about, she's been... If you really don't follow Niara, you don't realize, in the past couple of months, she's played with Emma Meeseman, Tina Charles overseas, John Paul Jones and Brianna Stewart here.
Yeah.
So she's playing and practicing against top players in this league. You're kind of seeing Niara grow to form and what she wants to be and what the Liberty want her to be.
Yeah, and the player of the game, Sabrina Ionescu, this is her back-to-back 30-point games for the first time in her career, second time in New York Liberty history. The first to do it was her teammate Brianna Stewart, but this was a big effort. Obviously, the 34 points against the Fever, we came up short, but there were 2 key pieces that were out of the rotation, obviously, in JJ and Leo. But in this one here, this 30 points, they needed every bit of her 30-point effort, 7 rebounds and 5 assists. Talk about Sabrina's effort tonight.
Oh, Sabrina was big for them in the first half, 20-point first half, and she really was the one keeping the Liberty buoyant in that first half because it seemed that just things were maybe not clicking as much, but you knew you can count on Sabrina making those buckets because we saw Sabrina making the buckets from the 3, from inside the 3-point line, attacking and doing multiple things. And, Brianna Stewart and Natasha Cloud alluded to it after the game that, you're seeing the wholeness of Sabrina Ionescu's game come around where she's not just a shooter anymore. She's someone that can slash. She's someone that can attack.
3-level
while
scorer.
Working on her ball handling, while working on passing. And then also being able to do things on the defensive end of the floor, something that Natasha Cloud said we should give Sabrina Ionescu more effort.
We absolutely
praise on that aspect of the game.
Absolutely have to give Sabrina more praise on the defensive effort. She's playing great team defense, but also you just see that she's committed to actually getting better season after season on that defensive end.
Sure.
And speaking of Natasha Cloud only had 7 points. However, she had a big play, that big 3-point play late in the fourth quarter. Let's talk about that play. How important was that, and how much of a momentum shift did Natasha Cloud bring, especially in that second half?
We're talking about a huge momentum play. Natasha Cloud always talks about, her being a dog. And, when the chips are down, who are really going to be the dogs that step up for a team? And to see Natasha Cloud may not have had the best shooting night, but willing to attack and still try to make a play, draw the foul, get the tough bucket, and then make the free throw.
100%.
And then you have Barclays Center unglued after that, for Natasha Cloud.
Absolute big momentum shifter. And we're going to end this by talking about the MVP, Brianna Stewart. Brianna Stewart finished the game with 23 points. She had 4 assists, 6 rebounds, a block. Great effort from Stewie, especially late in the game again when we needed her the most.
Yes,
let's
indeed.
talk about Stewie's effort tonight.
I mean, Stewie continues to show why she's one of the greatest players to ever play this game, because whenever you think Brianna Stewart may be down for the count, she always pulls out some tricks out of the bag. We saw the 3 that may not have been falling this season, but right when you need it, Brianna Stewart
It was a
hits that
timely three.
Talking about clutch buckets down the stretch, using her feet work, getting around Brittany Griner, getting around some of the bigs and getting that bucket up and in. So I think Brianna Stewart definitely showed why she's one of the greats, and New York needed it tonight.
And those 2 big back-to-back buckets, those step-through buckets, just talking about Brianna Stewart's footwork, it was timely, needed that. She put the Liberty up 4 with those buckets, and it was kind of pretty much done after that. So great effort tonight. I do want to briefly speak about Maureen Johannes and Jalen Sherrod, because they came in together and put great minutes off the bench. Jalen in that third quarter. Also, Maureen Johannes was a plus 23, a team high plus 23 on the plus minus. She had 6 rebounds. She only had 2 points, but she had quality minutes in that fourth quarter and deserved it. So let's talk about what Maureen did tonight.
Of course, you're talking about pushing the tempo, but then you're also talking about someone that's competing on the other end of the floor, because sometimes you talk about the box score, what shows up in the box score. There's also things that may not show up in the box score.
100%.
And, when you're looking at what Maureen did, seeing Jalen Sherrod get those minutes and then hustle. She may not have had, steals or multiple steals that got put on the box score, but she had her hands in place. She was deflecting balls. She was, being attacked, being aggressive on the point of attack, making sure that players bigger than her, like Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard, felt uncomfortable, especially on handoffs and curling actions and so forth.
100%.
So, Jalen Sherrod and Maureen Johannes show that, sometimes you need that bench to step up. And it may not necessarily be the scoring or things that pop up in the box score, but you still find other ways to affect your team and help them win.
The intangibles. And there was a play in that second frame where there was a turnover and Jalen Sherrod got it right back. I think she forced that turnover on Alicia Gray with a little pickpocket. There was another one that she tried to, also got called for a foul, but it's just the valiant efforts that this team puts together and what the bench has been doing that kind of keeps them afloat. And again, the New York Liberty come back from down by as much as 17 points, avoid a back-to-back loss. The New York Liberty moved to 10-1, 4-1 in this Commissioner's Cup. They do not make the championship game, and to be honest with you, I'm okay with that. But next game is on Thursday right here at Barclays Center, Juneteenth. It is the Unity game against the Phoenix, not the Phoenix Mercury. Is it the Phoenix Mercury? It is the Phoenix Mercury on June 21st, June 19th. I'm lying. Yeah, June 19th. Yeah, Juneteenth. Yeah, so check us out. This is New York Liberty Fan TV. I'm Kenny Saintville. This is my guy, Alford Corriette, and we'll see you on Thursday. Peace.